When the first Kingdom Hearts game was released, if players met certain requirements, they would be treated to a secret movie at the end, entitled Another Side, Another Story. At the time, there was no guarantee there would be a sequel to Kingdom Hearts. In spite of this, the game's director, Tetsuya Nomura, placed a secret movie at the end of the game in order to test players' reactions. It would show off some of the concepts that he had in mind for a hypothetical Kingdom Hearts 2. Since then, the secret movie has become a tradition in Kingdom Hearts, offering players a glimpse at the very next game, or at least what Nomura is cooking in his head. With the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, we were all incredibly curious to see what would come next after the Xehanort saga. And now we've managed to see the secret movie, and it seems to have fans more confused than ever. It gives us a peek at something that is very hard to wrap our heads around. But before we get into this video, I should give you a warning that we are discussing the secret movie for Kingdom Hearts 3, which does involve me discussing spoilers for Kingdom Hearts 3. If you haven't completed the game or prefer unlocking the secret movie organically, I'm not even exactly sure why you clicked this video. Nevertheless, let's begin. By completing the requirements to unlock the secret movie at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, you'll be treated to a video entitled Yozora. That's right, the same one from Verum Rex. Yozora is Japanese for night sky, and also shares the namesake of Noctis Lucis Caelum. Noctis Caelum is Latin for night sky. If you haven't seen my previous video where I analyzed Verum Rex, and now it directly ties to the concepts from Final Fantasy Versus 13, I highly recommend pausing this video and watching that one first, as some of it will be referenced here, with the link in the description box. The secret movie itself begins with Sora awakening in what looks to be an incredibly realistic world, and seemingly caught off guard by it, followed by Riku, who also seems to be awakening at this time. We then see them looking around the modern cityscape, which makes it appear as though they've traveled into the real world, but particularly Tokyo. Sora, it seems, is in Shibuya. We see the 104 building that parodies the real-life 109 department store. Of course, even if you haven't been to Japan, you still might recognize this reference from The World Ends With You, which also changes the number from 109 to 104. While many people have already theorized that Riku is somehow in a different world, this doesn't seem to be true. In fact, he seems to only be a few miles from Sora, as he's in Shinjuku. We know that Riku is in Shinjuku because he's standing outside the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building, which may look familiar to you, as this building is the source of inspiration for Noctis' castle in Final Fantasy Versus 13 and Final Fantasy 15. Insomnia itself is based on various areas in Shinjuku. We then see Sora and Riku looking toward the night sky, and we get a great zoom out of the city. But here's where the trailer begins to make even more direct references to Final Fantasy Versus 13. The first few chords of Sominus begin playing. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Sominus is now known as the main menu theme for Final Fantasy 15, but the song has a much deeper history to it than that. When Final Fantasy Versus 13 was first revealed all the way back in 2006, and many subsequent ones that would follow were all set to this brilliant piece of music. For comparison, here is both so that you can undoubtedly know this is meant to be Sominus. Then, on top of the building that Noctis' castle is based on sits Yozora, whose namesake, Night Sky, is shared between the two. Yozora looks incredibly menacing. Maybe he's mad that Sora and Riku's game actually got released. It's also very important to note that since nobody is talking about it, that Yozora's art style is quite different than that of Kingdom Hearts. I'm not talking about his design either. Literally, the proportions of his face are different, and are more akin to that of a Final Fantasy character than a Kingdom Hearts one. For example, his eyes are shaped very differently. The size and shape of his eyes are much more realistic when compared to someone like Sora or Riku. But leading into the scene, the music of Sominus slowly blends into what sounds like Dearly Beloved. We then see the moon looming over, with the presence of a hooded figure which many people believe is the Master of Masters. Though even here, there's yet another reference to Final Fantasy Versus 13. You can see again the building that would be Noctis' castle in the background, with the moon shining over it. This scene bears a strong resemblance to one of the Versus 13 reveal trailers, in which the moon looms over Noctis' castle. The mysterious hooded figure then encases it with a heart. thus ending the secret movie, leaving us to speculate for years until the next Kingdom Hearts game, or at least until some Nomura interviews begin to shed some light for us. So what does this all mean? Well, with the character that is meant to be a parody of Noctis from a game called Verum Rex, which again means True King in Latin, the name of the secret movie is Yozora, which is the name of the character, which also means Night Sky, which is also what Noctis Calum means. He's sitting on top of the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building, which Noctis's castle is based on, a song that undoubtedly references Sominus, with its first few chords being the exact same in the beginning. The moon is shown looming over the castle, just as it was in the reveal trailer for Final Fantasy Versus 13 all the way back in 2006. There are quite a few possibilities of what Nomura could be hinting at us. The first is that he wants to do a Final Fantasy Versus 15, a game that would reboot Final Fantasy 15 and tell the original Versus 13 storyline that he intended to tell all these years. This is something that many fans have requested. The next is that it means that Nomura wants to tell the story of Versus, or reuse elements of it within Kingdom Hearts going forward, which I believe has a very strong case for itself, as things such as Air Step even work in a similar fashion to warp striking in older concept trailers. I've seen a lot of fan theories with regards to where this could all go, and honestly, none of it seems fully accurate to me. That's because who could have predicted a secret movie like this, or even one that would blatantly choose to reference Final Fantasy Versus 13? So Ultima Weapons, what do you guys believe this all to mean? Is it a hint toward a reboot of Final Fantasy Versus 13? Something that could potentially happen once Final Fantasy VII Remake is squared away? Does it mean the next Kingdom Hearts game will reutilize Versus 13 concepts? Or is it something else entirely? I know many of you would like to see Verum Rex become its own game. Or do you think we should just wait patiently and find out? Subscribe, click the bell icon, and let your voice be heard in the comments below. And if you just beat Kingdom Hearts 3 and you need someone to discuss it with, be sure to head on over to our new subgroup, Pareto Ultima, where we'll be discussing all the Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers in depth. Link in the description below.